Good morning. This is November 13th, 2024 meeting of the Rochester Regional Board of Review. This hearing is being held via video conference call WebEx at the following location: Greece Town Hall, 1 Vince Toffany Boulevard, Community Rooms A and B, Rochester, New York, 14612. The time is 10:07 a.m. and this hearing is officially open. The members of the board are Mark Kavanaugh, John Limbeck, Craig Jensen, and my name is Rick Papage. I am the acting chairman. From the Department of State is Dan Farley. We will now hear the scheduled petitions. When you speak, please address the board and give your name, title, and legal address so that our court reporter can have all the information requested. We may have to stop from time to time to consult with our technical staff. In making comments to the board, please provide a descriptive narrative on the matters referring to in your exhibits to enable the court reporter to enter these into the record. Our first hearing, petition number 2024-0401. This hearing is in the matter of Plan Architectural Studio PC. There'll be a second hearing later, petition number 2024-0374. That hearing is in the matter of Mohammed Farquhari. Okay. To start, petition number 2024-0401, August 2024, aggrieved party, Plan Architectural Studio PC. The nature of the grievance and relief sought. The petition pertains to the construction of a new building with an R1 residential occupancy, construction type 5B wood frame unprotected construction, 2 stories in height, containing 2,973 square foot in total gross area, known as the Finger Lakes Community College Muller Field Station, located at 6455 County Road 36, Town of Canadice, County of Ontario, State of New York. The petitioner is seeking relief from 19 New York CRR Part 1221, the 2020 Building Code of New York, 903.2.8 Group R, which states an automatic sprinkler system installed in accordance with section 903.3 shall be provided throughout all buildings with a Group R fire rating. The petitioner requests relief from the requirement that the new building contain an NFPA 13R automatic sprinkler system throughout the fire area. Petitioner requests that they be permitted to install an NFPA 13D automatic sprinkler system complying with section 903.3.1.3 throughout the fire area instead. Relief is, the petitioner seeking relief also from 19 NYCRR Part 1221, the 2020 Building Code of New York, 903.3.1.2, NFPR 13R sprinkler systems, which states an automatic sprinkler systems in Group R occupancies up to and including 4 stories in height in buildings not exceeding 60 feet in height above grade plane shall be permitted to be installed throughout in accordance with NFPA 13R. The petitioner requests relief from the requirement that the new building contain an NFPA 13R automatic sprinkler system throughout the fire area. Petitioner requests that they be permitted to install an NFPA 13D automatic sprinkler system complying with section 903.3.1.3 throughout the fire area instead. At this point, we ask the petitioner to state their case. After they are done with the case, the board and other attendees can ask questions. If there are any from the audience, we'll start there, and then any from online, we'll go to them there. And I want to remind everyone to speak your name clearly and the address for the record.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Cortland Knopp, and I'm an architect with Plan Architectural Studio. Our office's address is 250 South Avenue, Suite 100 in Rochester, New York. First, I want to give just an overview of the project. Thank you for kind of going through all the specifics about, the code and the variance requests and the location and everything. This new construction bunkhouse is a 3,000 square foot proposed adjacent to an existing 4,000 square foot R1 occupancy lodge. We are considering the bunkhouse a new construction building next to the existing building. It's a completely separated building. Between the two buildings is a 1 hour concrete block wall, fire rated wall with 60-minute fire rated doors. You can reference that on our code sheet that was provided with the application. There are 2 exits on the upper and lower levels. Just some other statistics about the building. There's a 1 hour fire rated corridor walls to each exit with 45-minute corridor doors. The second exit on the upper level is a 1 hour fire rated exit stair. It is also sized to be the second accessible exit. The exit stair is equipped to be in an area of refuge with a 2-way communication system, and it's properly sized. It has a properly sized wheelchair space. There's a 1 hour horizontal fire rated separation between the upper and lower levels at the entire building footprint. And there's also a 1 hour fire rated roof assembly proposed adjacent to the existing lodge due to the fire separation distance. We are requesting relief from the 13R due to the lack of municipal water on the site. We really want this building to be sprinklered. And I think it's also worth noting, in one of our appendixes, we have some justifications on the size of the building. Items A through F, I believe it is, talking about the size and the exiting. But the crux of it is if this were located in a location where there was municipal water, we would be we wouldn't be requesting the variance. But since there is no municipal water, that's really what spawned the request for the variance. And so with that, I'll take your questions.
Okay, any questions from the board?
Yeah, John Limbeck. One of the criteria that you listed, the implementation would create an excessive and unreasonable economic burden. Yet I didn't see anything in your application that showed it would be this cost versus this cost so that we could compare. So I don't know that that's a criteria that we'd be able to apply in making any decision on this, just because I didn't see anything.
So I think I'm actually going to defer to Dan Turner, who's our engineer on this, and I think he's probably better suited to speak to the differences. I think your question is really about the differences between the two systems.
Well, what would justify claiming an excessive and unreasonable economic burden?
I am Chris Lopez, principal with Plan Studio. I think that answer was not a dollar value wasn't put to that because I don't think we could calculate what it would cost to bring municipal water to the site. It's not anywhere within the region, so it's kind of a hard number to calculate. So yeah, I think that maybe we don't know the cost, but we would anticipate it be a significant cost to bring municipal water to this site.
Okay, and it would just be something that we'd have to use other criteria to consider.
Okay.
Thank you. That's all I have, Chairman.
Mr. Chairman, Mark Kavanaugh, can I speak?
Of course.
Okay, so I have a couple questions. So the first question is, just trying to understand the risk to the occupants. And it appears that Appendix D calls out 24 overnight occupants. But in looking at your Exhibit C, sheet T003, I only see 12 overnight occupants. So can you please explain occupant loads?
So I think the occupant load is, it's approximately 12 occupants per floor. And then I think, through doing the occupancy calculations, we calculated about 27 occupants. The building's designed, so I think with 2 exits, you get 1 to 500 occupants. So I think, I guess I'm confused about where the discrepancy is. Can you tell me where where it says there's a discrepancy in the occupants in the application?
The discrepancy, I guess, it might be in my count. So if I look at Exhibit C, sheet T003, I might be
Okay.
missing a bedroom because I'm only seeing 6. So is it 2 or 3 bedroom on the second floor?
There's 2, the bunk beds, yeah. That's what
Speak your name.
They're bunk beds.
There are a total of 12 bunk beds,
Gotcha.
which would be a
Okay,
total of 24 occupants.
Okay, thank you. I was missing the bunk bed piece.
If you do go to the microphone, every time speak your name. Target precise.
Okay, the next question I have is Exhibit C, sheet T003 shows that the addition is being added to an existing R1 occupancy. Can you explain the sprinkler system that you currently have in the R1 occupancy?
Hi, this is Chris Lopez again. The existing building is a separate building. We are not doing a building addition per the code. It's actually a new building. The existing building is an R1 that's approved under Chapter 13 that was done in 2014 by T.Y. Lin International through the Chapter 13 process. And it's unsprinklered.
So if there's no sprinklers and you're proposing to install, are you proposing to install a sprinkler system throughout? Or are you saying that it's going to be a separate structure, therefore you'd need a 2-hour firewall to comply with table 707.3.10?
This is Cortland Canop. Can you remind me what this section was again?
It's table 707.3.10.
This is Cortland again. I guess I'm not familiar off the top of my head with the exact chapter. I have the code review written here, and my understanding and our interpretation was that it would be a 1-hour fire separation. We are proposing a CMU block fire separated wall there, and the UL assembly for the CMU can accommodate a range of fire separations. But my interpretation and understanding of the code was that it was a 1-hour, but I don't see why it couldn't be classified as a 2-hour if that is indeed the interpretation and the requirement.
This is Chris Lopez. I believe the only change, Cortland is correct. So with the block wall, it could be a 2-hour rated wall. there's two doors that connect the two buildings. Those doors, the readings on those doors would likely need to be increased.
Understand and agree. The next question I have is NFPA 13D allows well fire pumps. Can someone explain why we aren't proposing to use the pond to meet the 13D, maybe a 13D plus system?
Good morning. My name is Dan Turner, principal with Turner Engineering at 1 Woodbury Boulevard, Rochester, New York, 14604. Thank you. We looked into NFPA 13D and we did not see a pond as an approved source of fire suppression water. We saw it as the firefighters could use the pond to draft from. But we discussed this, looked in the code. We did not see that the pond itself was an approved source. So what we were planning on doing is we have an existing well, and we were going to install a storage tank. And one of the difficulties between NFPA 13D and 13R is the storage tank for fire and domestic water would be about 820 gallons for a 13D and 2,650 for a 13R. And then we were going to have a Telco fire pump. Telco would be one manufacturer for 13D that we could put in a mechanical room, whereas if we went with 13R, we'd have to have a 2-hour rated fire pump room dedicated strictly to the fire pump. And that will be difficult to achieve on this site.
Thanks, Dan. So just as a point of reference in 13D, understanding the appendix is not code, but the appendix does indicate in 6.2.3.3 that well pumps are an economical way to provide water supply to rural areas without a municipal water supply. So I think the intent of 13D would allow that if the local authority having jurisdiction agrees.
Okay.
Staying with the pond issue, does the pond have a dry hydrant to allow the fire department to draft from it, or is that something that the owner would be willing to accept as an enhancement?
That is something that we also researched, and at this time it does not have a dry hydrant, but I believe the owner would be willing to install a dry hydrant if that's would affect the decision.
Hi, Chris Lopez again. We did talk to the owner about that potential. We also talked to the fire chief as a discussion, and we feel that that's feasible to do a dry hydrant just north of the building.
Okay, thank you. And does the building have a generator, or is there a generator being proposed for the fire pump?
This is Dan Turner, and right now we do not have a generator proposed. We are trying to contact the utility to determine the reliability of the electric service.
And do you think if we had a pond, if we did use the pond as the water source, you could get a 4-head design?
4-head for 13R or 13D?
Well, 13D is a 2-head design.
2-head
We're
design.
trying to make it maybe a 13D plus. So
wondering
wondering if you could get a 4-head design out of it.
We will need a some type of NFPA 13D fire pump. So I'm sure we could achieve a 4-head design. All of the compartments are pretty small. The largest one is the corridor with on the upper level, there's a corridor with a, kind of a lobby area. And that would be 4 heads in that lobby area, corridor lobby area on the upper floor.
Okay, great, thank you. And while I still have you, is that from listening to you speak, it sounds like you are planning on using listed components.
Yes. Yeah. The tank with 13D, the tank does not have to be NFPA 22, but it does with 13R.
Correct. And 13D actually allows a lot of components not to be listed. So it's great to hear that you're using listed components. And then last question, probably for the architect, is this stairwell looks like only the corridor is rated. The corridor side is rated. It doesn't look like the enclosure itself is totally rated, but I thought I heard you say that it would be rated. So can I just confirm that the stairwells will be a 1 hour rated enclosure?
This is Cortland Canop. Yes, the stairwell will be a fully enclosed stair.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman. That's all I have.
Thank you, Mark.
This is Dan Turner again. If I could ask one question, you mentioned listed components. Are you talking UL listed or NFPA listed?
UL or FM,
UL or FM? Okay,
correct.
okay.
Okay, any more questions from the board? Anyone in the audience? If not, board will go into deliberation and we are off the record. All right, well, we are back on record and I'll start with the nature of the grievance and relief sought. The petition pertains to the construction of a new building with a group R1 residential occupancy construction type 5B wood frame unprotected construction of 2 stories in height containing 2973 square foot in total gross area known as the Finger Lakes Community College Muller Field Station located at 6455 County Road 36, Town of Canadice, County of Ontario, State of New York. Petitioner is seeking relief from 19 NYCRR Part 1221, the 2020 Building Code of New York State, Section 903.2.8, Group R, which states an automatic sprinkler system installed in accordance with Section 903.3 shall be provided throughout all buildings with a Group R fire area. The petitioner requests relief from the requirement that the new building be equipped with an NFPA 13R automatic sprinkler system throughout the fire area. Petitioner requests that they be permitted to install an NFPA 13D automatic sprinkler system complying with Section 903.3.1.3 throughout the fire area instead. Additionally, the petitioner is seeking relief from 19 New York NYCRR Part 1221, the Building Code of New York State, Section 903.3.1.2, and FPA 13R sprinkler systems, which states an automatic sprinkler system in Group R occupancies up to and including 4 stories in height in buildings not exceeding 60 feet in height above grade plane shall be permitted to be installed throughout in accordance to NFPA 13R. The petitioner requests relief from this requirement that the new building contain an NFPA 13R automatic sprinkler system throughout the fire area. Petitioner requests that they be permitted to install a NFPA 13D automatic sprinkler system complying with Section 903.3.1.3 throughout the fire area instead. Finding of facts. Number 1, the subject of this petition pertains to the construction of a 2-story, 2973 gross square foot building located adjacent to the Muller Lodge on the property of the Finger Lakes Community College. Number 2, both the existing and proposed buildings have a use and occupancy classification of an R1 transient congregate living facility containing greater than 10 occupants. Number 3, occupant load will be 12 per floor for a total of 24. Number 4, the building, AKA the Muller bunkhouse, will be separated from the existing building, AKA the Muller Lodge, with a 1-hour fire-resistant rated exterior wall assembly. Number 5, sections 903.2.8 and 903.3.1.2 of the 2020 Building Code of New York State requires any new R1 occupancy be equipped with an NFPA 13R automatic sprinkler system throughout all buildings with a Group R fire area. Number 6, petitioner indicates the installation of an NFPA 13R automatic sprinkler system is technically infeasible since a municipal water source is not available on site. Number 7, in lieu of providing an NFPA 13R automatic sprinkler system as required by the 2020 Building Code of New York State, the petitioner proposes to install an NFPA 13D automatic sprinkler system in compliance with the 2020 Fire Code of New York State, section 903.3.1.3 throughout the building's fire area. Number 8, the NFPA 13D automatic sprinkler system will be connected to an on-site water storage system capable of supplying the water pressure needed for that system to function as designed. Number 9, petitioner will provide 60-minute opening protectives in the south wall which exceed 45-minute rating required by table 716.12 of the 2020 Building Code of New York State. 10, the petitioner asks that the following building information shown in Exhibit A be considered in favor of granting the requested relief from compliance with sections 903.2.8 and 903.3.1.2 of the 2020 New York Building Code of New York State. A, the proposed building height is 38% less than what is allowed for a sprinklered building of the same occupancy classification and type of construction. B, the proposed building area is approximately 79% less than what is allowed for a sprinklered building of the same occupancy classification and type of construction. C, the proposed common path of egress travel distance is approximately 66% less than the allowable common path egress travel distance for spaces with one exit within a sprinklered building. D, the proposed exit access travel distance is approximately 68% less than the allowed maximum exit access travel distance for buildings without a sprinkler system. Letter E, 1/2 hour fire resistant rated corridor walls are permitted with the installation of an NFPA 13R automatic sprinkler system. However, because the petitioner is requesting permission to install an automatic sprinkler system complying with NFPA 13D and not NFPA 13R, they propose to increase the fire resistant rating of the corridor walls from 1/2 hour to 1 hour. Petitioner has indicated the access stairwell will also have a 1 hour fire resistant rating. F, the proposed width of the corridor is approximately 40% greater than the minimum width required for this building. Number 11, the petitioner argues that strict compliance with sections 903.2.8, 903.3.1.2 of the 2020 Building Code of New York State would create an excessive and unreasonable economic burden, would be physically or legally impractical, and would entail a change so slight as to produce a negligible additional benefit consonant with the purpose of the code. Number 12, the fire chief indicated in a letter dated October 20th, 2024, that they support the petitioner's requested relief and are of the opinion that the installation of an NFPA 13D automatic sprinkler system would provide adequate fire and life safety protection for the building and the occupants located within. 13, the local code official has been consulted in this matter and has no objection to granting the variance. Conclusions of law. In accordance with the above findings and based on information proposed and testimony given, the board finds that strict compliance with the provisions of the Uniform Fire Protection and Building Code would entail practical difficulties would be unnecessary in light of alternatives which, without a loss in level of safety, achieve the intended objective of the code, and granting the requested variance would not substantially adversely affect the Uniform Code's provisions for health, safety, and security. Determination. Wherefore, it is determined that the application for variance from 19 NYCRR Part 1221, Sections 903.2.8 and 903.3.1.2 of the 2020 Building Code of New York State will be hereby granted with the following conditions. Number one, that the NFPA 13D automatic sprinkler system complying with sections 903.3.1.3 of the 2020 Fire Code of New York State will be installed throughout the fire area of the building. Number two, that a 2-hour firewall assembly shall be installed between the existing and new building. Number three, that the 13D system shall be comprised of listed components. 4, that the storage tank shall be hydraulically sized to provide a 10-minute duration for a 4-head sprinkler system. Number 5, that a dry hydrant shall be installed and extended within 20 feet of the fire apparatus access road. Number 6, the fire department connection shall be installed to support the fire sprinkler system operation. Number 7, that all conditions, enhancements, and equipment offered by the petitioner be installed as described in accordance with the applicable generally accepted reference standards. Number 8, that all other aspects of this building construction will be in compliance with applicable codes, rules, and regulations. Furthermore, this decision is limited to the specific building and application before it as contained within the petition and shall not be interpreted to give implied approval to any general plans or specifications presented in support of this application. So, I would now like to call on the board for their vote.
I'll make a
may have
motion to, I'll make a motion to
May I have a motion?
approve the petition as presented.
May I have a second?
John Limbeck, I'll second.
Okay, now we'll poll the board. John Limbeck,
John Limbeck, aye.
Rick Pappage, aye.
Craig Jensen, aye.
Mark?
Mark Kavanaugh, aye.
Thank you. Okay, so let the record show that Acting Chairman Rick Pappage and members Mark Kavanaugh, John Limbeck, and Craig Jensen all concur 4-0. At this time, I will close the hearing. Thank you. We are off the record.
Thanks, everybody.
Okay, this is the second and final case today, petition number 2024-0374. This case was previously heard September 11th, 2024 at that hearing and was adjourned. This will start with the nature of agreement sought, and the petition pertains to the existing building containing an R2 occupancy, 3 stories in height of type 5B wood frame unprotected construction located at 1326 State Street, City of Schenectady, County of Schenectady, State of New York. Relief is requested from Chapter 61B of the Consolidated Laws of New York Multiple Residency Law, Article 3, Section 30, cellar ceilings, which states that in every such dwelling 3 stories or more in height, the ceiling of the cellar or of the lowest story, if there be no cellar, shall be fire retarded or be equipped with a sprinkler system unless such ceiling has already been plastered to the satisfaction of the department. The petitioner requests relief from the requirement that a fire retarded ceiling or sprinkler system be provided in the cellar of the dwelling. Relief is requested additionally from Chapter 61B of the Consolidated Laws of New York Multiple Residence Law, Article 3, Section 31, inside cellar stairs, which states that every stair leading from the cellar to the floor above in all old multiple dwellings shall be enclosed with a fire retarded partition and shall be equipped with a fire retarded self-closing door located as the department may approve. The petitioner requests relief to not provide fire-rated partition in the cellar stairs. At this point, we ask the petitioner to state their case. And in stating their case, the board and other attendees may ask questions. Please state your name and your address for the record.
Good morning, gentlemen. My name is Mohammed Fakiri. I'm the owner of the property located at 1326 State Street in Schenectady, New York. I just wanted to point out the second article that you mentioned as far as the stairs leading to the cellar. From our last meeting to now, we redid the fire-rated sheetrock as I've provided the photos for every step leading to the cellar. There's been fire-rated sheetrock above the stairs, and there's the wall, as you can see in the picture. On one side of the wall, it's all block, cinder block, and the other side, we put fire-rated sheetrock on the adjacent wall and all the stairs leading to the cellar. So that has been alleviated, and we also put a self-closing fire retardant door that leads downstairs.
So Mohammed, this is Dan Farley with the Department of State. So are you saying that you no longer need relief from Section 31?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, thank you.
If you guys have any more questions, I'm
Yeah. Thank you, Mohammed. Yeah, if that's it for presenting, does the board have any questions?
I have none. John Limbeck.
Anyone? I don't have anything.
No questions. Craig Jensen, no questions.
Mark, anything for you?
No, sir, thank you.
Very good. I have no questions. And if there is no other questions, then the board will go into deliberation. Thank you. And we're off the record. All right, before we get restarted here, we understand the code official is present.
Yes, I am. This is Bert Taylor.
Okay, thank you, Bert. A couple of questions for you. The petitioner has indicated that he has now drywalled the stairwell and would therefore not be seeking relief from Section 31. Would you concur with that?
Yes.
Okay. Great, thank you. The other thing we were looking for was a clarification on the interconnected carbon monoxide detectors and just confirmation that they are in fact interconnected, either hardwired or otherwise.
As I remember, they were hardwire, but it's been a while, so I'm not really, I would have to look at it again to make sure that but I am 99% sure that they were hardwired.
Okay, and Mohammed, is there, can you add anything to that?
As far as the interconnected,
Yeah,
yes, they are all hardwired, starting from the cellar all the way to every apartment and the hallways and the first floor space. Yeah, they're all hardwired.
good.
Mhm.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
All right, we'll continue on now. Let's see. All right, so the nature of grievance sought here is that the petition pertains to an existing building containing an R2 occupancy, 3 stories in height of type 5B wood frame unprotected construction located at 1326 State Street, City of Schenectady, County of Schenectady, State of New York. Relief is requested from Chapter 61-B of the Consolidated Laws of New York, Multiple Residence Law, Article 3, Section 30, cellar ceilings, which states that in every such dwelling, 3 stories or more in height, the ceiling of the cellar or the lowest level, if there is no cellar, shall be fire retarded or be equipped with a sprinkler system, unless such ceiling has already been plastered to the satisfaction of the department. The petitioner requests relief from the requirement that a fire retardant ceiling or sprinkler system be provided in the cellar of the dwelling. Findings of fact. Number 1, the building that is in the subject of this petition is properly classified under Chapter 61B of the Consolidated Laws of New York, Multiple Residency Law, Article 1, Section 433 as a multiple dwelling. Number 2, the subject building is approximately 10,260 square feet in gross area, was originally constructed around 1928 and contains 8 dwelling units. Number 3, the subject building is required to conform with the provisions of Article 3 of the Multiple Residency Law as provided in Section 25, and that it existed on July 1st, 1952, or was converted to a multiple dwelling after July 1st, 1952, and is not a hotel or similar dwelling subject to Article 4 of the Multiple Residency Law. Number 4, Article 3, Section 30 of the Multiple Residency Law requires in every such dwelling 3 stories or more in height, the ceiling of the cellar or the lowest story, if there is no cellar, shall be fire retarded or be equipped with a sprinkler system unless such ceiling has already been plastered to the satisfaction of the department. Number 5, the lowest story cellar ceiling of this multiple family dwelling is not enclosed with fire retardant materials and does not contain a sprinkler system. A fire in the cellar could easily spread throughout the building before it is noticed. There is mechanical system piping and electrical wiring along the ceiling of this unoccupied cellar, which would make installing a fire retardant ceiling very difficult. As an alternative to compliance with Article 3, Section 30 of the Multiple Residency Law, the applicant has stated the existing building contains a hardwired, interconnected smoke detection alarm system interconnected from the basement to each unit individually and would provide early warning in the event of a fire-related emergency. Number 7, the petitioner has indicated that the entire first floor commercial space has a double layer of sheetrock in the ceiling. Number 8, the code enforcement official has stated that the existing carbon monoxide detectors are also interconnected throughout the building. Number 9, the petitioner has indicated the door into the basement is fire rated and self-closing. Number 10, tenant storage is not in the basement and is in a separate building located on the same parcel. Number 11, the code enforcement official for City of Schenectady was present during the hearing and has indicated support for the variance. Conclusions of law. The proposed variance will not substantially adversely affect the law's provision for health and safety and security. Strict compliance would entail practical difficulties, unnecessary hardship, or would otherwise be unwarranted because such would be unnecessary in light of alternatives which, without a loss of level of safety, achieve the intended objective of the law. Determination. Wherefore, it is determined that the application for a variance from Chapter 61B of the Consolidated Laws of New York, Multiple Residency Law, Article 3, Section 30 will be hereby granted with the following conditions. 1, that the interconnected smoke and carbon monoxide detectors be provided and located throughout the building as required by current code. Number 2, that the property owner shall hire a third-party independent code certified inspection agency to test the alarm system annually at a minimum and shall submit inspection results to the City of Schenectady Building Department. An inspection report shall also be left on site and be readily available for inspection. Number 3, that all smoke detection and carbon monoxide detection devices shall be interconnected together as one system and in conformance with NFPA 72. Number 4, that any entrance door and every door opening into any entrance hall, stair hall, or other public hall connected there within shall be self-closing. Number 5, that the door leading into the basement shall be fire rated and self-closing. Number 6, that no tenant storage will be allowed in the basement. Okay, I will now read into the record the short environmental assessment form EAF. Motion for negative declaration for short EAF for Board of Review. Number 1, that the Board of Review find and determine that the issuance of a variance in petition 2024-0374 will not have a significant environmental impact and will not have a significant adverse effect on any significant fish or wildlife habitat, scenic resource of statewide significance, important agricultural land, or area included in an approved local waterfront revitalization program. And number 2, that the Department of State be authorized to sign and deliver on behalf of the Board of Review and the Department of State, A, the State Environmental Quality Review Act short environmental assessment form indicating that, quote, no or small impact may occur, unquote, in response to each question in Part 2 of the form, and determining in Part 3 of the form that the proposed action will not result in any significant adverse environmental impacts. I will now make a motion to poll the board members. May I have a motion?
John Limbeck, I'll make the motion.
Craig Jensen, I'll second the motion.
Thank you. And now I will take a vote of the members for the record. John Limbeck,
John Limbeck, aye.
Rick Pappage, aye.
Craig Jensen, aye.
Mark Kavanaugh, aye.
Okay, let the record show the motion is passed 4-0. This decision is limited to the specific building and application before it as contained within the petition and should not be interpreted to give implied approval of any general plans or specifications presented in support of this application. Acting Chairman Rick Pappage and members Mark Kavanaugh, John Limbeck, and Craig Jensen all concur. Thank you, and we consider this hearing closed. We are off the record.